Sometimes it be that very one co-worker on that job, that very one person who you thought, why they coming after me? It's obvious. It's nothing that is made up. You feel their energy. You feel the tension. You feel their fake frustration. And I have to call it fake frustration because that person was the one or one of the ones that was chosen to be your, let's say, team leader, to welcome you onto the job, to train you. But they feel like at your capacity, you're not moving fast enough. They feel like you're not comprehending fast enough. Then everything becomes like a slight joke. You hear the snickers behind your back. You hear the laughter behind your back. You hear them talking. They're the ringleader. They're the ones that's getting it started. Oh, she can't catch on. Why is he working so slow? How did they even get fired? Look at them now. Look at them about to mess up. Should I say something? Should I go help that person out? I'm hearing all of these constant strainful, downtrodden, broken spirit conversations. But don't you know, that person, once I had stopped working at that location, I happened to run into that young lady. I ran into this woman at the dollar store. Oh, I wasn't trying to dodge her. She wasn't trying to dodge me. It's like we just locked eyes right there in the aisle. It was no denying. She couldn't say she didn't recognize me. I don't know if she felt like speaking or not, but don't you know, the whole time, that's why you got to hold your position down. You got to be you in the moment. You have to continuously be that resilient person. You got to continue to keep your head up. You got to continue to learn your job to the best of your ability. And regardless, ask a question. Somebody's going to answer the question, whether it be the manager or the higher up. Now, if everybody just want to sit there and trip and, tag along and be little followers of the so-called ringleader at 40, 50, 60, all this mess still going on the job, but you know who you are. You know your tenacity. You know your perseverance. You know not to give in to that. Sometimes they're just looking for a response. Trying to trigger you. Trying to give the situation more of a reason to get fired. They already know they setting you up to be fired. They already know what the game plan is, but you haven't decided to leave out the game. You still in the game on your own terms and following protocol. That's why you never even let nobody overly help you. When I say overly help you, like, oh, I took care of that. I made it up for you. Oh, I did that for you. Oh, take this one instead. I labeled it. It's okay. I got you. Nah, it's a setup because you got these flip-flop personalities. Either you gonna help me, you gonna be of help, and I know what's going on, or you told me that you're gonna do something where I'm watching you do it, but don't put my name. Don't ever let nobody sign your name. Don't let nobody ever authorize your name, because all the time you got ones that straight up want to set you up. So again, when somebody shows you who they are, it's time that we do believe people. But we have to go into situations not trying to get prepared while we outside the game, but before we even get in the game, before we even clock in, before we even apply for that job, we got to be praying. We got to be prayerful of ourselves that this is the right job for us. Now, don't get me wrong. Some jobs may not be the right one, but at that moment, it may be the right one for a time such as that moment. That's why you have to keep yourself still prayed up and covered. So I run into this young lady, y'all. Now, she knows. Without me even having to say what type of woman I am. She know I love the Lord. She know that that's who's got me. She saw that light. People know when you're chosen. People know who you're in alignment with, because you haven't crossed over onto that other side. Because see, now, by that time, it's another newcomer. They testing you to see how you going to react. Seeing how bad you want to be down with the cool kids. be in that club, even at that age. People are testing you. They want to know how far they can get. They want to know what they can say. They want to know if you're going to keep these secrets that go on behind the job. They want to know if you are going to play the game. They want to know if you're going to play them games that are not of God, that are not glorifying him. So if I'm saying that, it might be something real bad. It might be something stretched. It might be something that you're like, wait a minute, I am not to indulge in such conversations. I am not to put such things before my eyes. You know, people be having some twisted minds on these jobs. People got twisted minds anyhow. And they want to form these alliances. Scratch my back, I scratch your back. We don't tell. This is what we do. People be trying to break up marriages. People be trying to break up and have divisions in people's homes. People want to see mother and daughter against each other, father and son against each other. People want to see division. People want to see strife within the job. People want to use people as pawns sometimes. People want to cross people out. People get mad. You could look like somebody that somebody dated at one time and not want you there at the job. Your voice could remind them of somebody that they don't like and will not want you on the job. The way you walk, the color of your eyes, how you wear your hair, your haircut, your hairstyle, your hair texture. People come with all types of stuff. But that woman approached me and she said, I want to tell you. Well, she said, hi, how are you? I said, I'm okay. How are you? Straight to the point. She said, and looked me dead in my eyes. And she said, I want to apologize for how I've acted on the job. That wasn't right. For the stuff I've done, for the moments that I caused you, for it not to be a comfortable environment. I want to tell you I'm sorry. I wasn't taken aback. I listened. I processed what she was saying. She seemed to come from a sincere place, but I was not looking for no apology. I was not looking for I'm sorry, because like I've said before on this channel, people, you may be looking for an apology sometimes or I'm sorry, but people don't always get around to it. And people sometimes don't even see themselves in what they doing. They just going on with life. But you can't tell me people have not had moments when they know they are doing wrong. Even a child knows when they doing wrong and they don't like to be corrected. But I was shocked that this woman had humbled herself to say she was sorry. And I told her, okay. And you been doing all right? She said, yeah. I said, okay. You still working there? I asked her. She said, yeah, I'm still working there. And I said, well, hopefully it's being made into a better place. Because I already knew, like, day one, what I was getting myself into. But I was not going to let nobody drive me out of my position until I was ready, till it was time to go. I had myself covered to be putting in applications elsewhere because I knew I wasn't going to last long. It was so many alarming spirits going on in that job. I knew it wasn't the environment for me. So at that time, I was just blessed, thankful that I was blessed with another job. But sometimes you got to go through. Sometimes you got to go through the fire, because every job, every situation, when we wake up, adversity of some sort, we're going to be confronted with. Do we have to run? No, it wasn't a matter of running. But some adjustments had to be made. Because see, when you get that notion and you're like, this is beyond me. Some managers, they'll try to ask you, 'cause I've been asked this before in the past, what do you think about the people here that work here? What do you think can be done? Look, this is just day 2 and you asking this question already? Sounds like this is a problem that they needed to correct the core culture of that establishment from jump. But again, when things get out of hand, before you know it, you got who was assigned or whose company it is, their values have totally been shrunk. Their values have totally been shrunken down to nothing, because you got these strong spirits that will come in a job and will turn it upside down, because either it's going to go one way or the other, depending on which spirit is the strong is. It's a tug of war, but somebody's going to make the win. Not every environment is for you. Not every environment has been selected for you to just endure and be a doormat on a job. Sometimes it is time to let it go. In my case, I was thankful because I did have applications. Like when I started seeing signs, and you know what? You don't have to tell everything. It was not their business how I truly felt about that job, because what was really going to change? The spirits probably would have got stronger, but I wasn't trying to find out, because I'm not the type that tells everything anyhow. Sometimes you have to walk in silence in order to get your plan together. Sometimes you got to smile when you don't feel like smiling. Sometimes you have to have a straight face when you don't want to have a straight face. Sometimes you can't always let them know what you're thinking. They're just looking for an opening to get a reaction a lot of times, to have a conversation. Because regardless, one thing about situations and people, even had I been doing things at a faster rate according to their rate. And when I say people at that job was just moving within the facility like little robots, and nothing was ever fast enough. Heck, it was times they wasn't even moving that fast, but they have that energy when it's the new person on the block. Like they just try to show off, like they trying to be employee of the month. Well, go ahead, because I'm not trying to do all that. I'm working at my pace to understand, to process, so that no mistakes can be made. But people, they get to me. People can really bother some. They think if somebody's supposed to catch on day one, within the first 4 hours, dealing with an 8-hour, 9-hour job at a time. They think the next day is supposed to be superb. And while they busy running off at the mouth, they busy making all types of mistakes trying to train somebody. But I didn't think no more about that. I just said, okay, because I knew the job was jacked up in the energy that they had, because you can't stay everywhere. Sometimes your calling is after that job is done to go on to the next level, because it's another job that does need you and does appreciate you and does value you, where you can excel. Now, every job I've had, or jobs that I currently, hold, is everything quiet and just living the life of like the best job possible? Because sometimes things have to be said, but in that moment, we have to use wisdom. We have to use wisdom and to keep going. And then when we got a problem of some sort, sometimes, we got to take that seriously and take it into prayer. Prayer does change things. You be praying about one thing and you adding on another prayer to it. Prayer will make a situation so much better. Sometimes you have to pray to even word your mouth. Pray, Lord, give me the mind. Give me the mind on how to confront the situation when situations do arise, because things are going to come up. Not everybody you see is covering themselves even with prayer on these jobs. But it's okay, because some people have to. Everybody's fighting some power and principality throughout life, and depending on how people want to move forward and not be hung down and holding on. Because I could have been like, whoa, why are you doing this now? Why are you trying to apologize now? Well, in her heart, it wasn't too late. And that's probably something she needed to release, to forgive herself. And I accepted it.